Hey there, everyone. This is Troy with today's Heartbeat. This year, we've been working on a video series about boundaries. This is the third video in that series. The first two were about protecting yourself by not borrowing items or money from a client. This one's a little different in that it's how to protect yourself from a client who may not understand personal boundaries and start to ask for favors, for personal favors and extra time outside of your work time. And so we will discuss that here. First word that comes to mind when we talk about those kind of boundaries is the word friendship. And friendship with a client is a good thing when it's accomplishing the home at heart vision that is making a godly difference in someone's heart and home. But it's not a good thing if it creates non-professional expectations. We're trying to maintain friendly and professional connection with our client, our caregivers, with other caregivers, with office staff, and anyone who's connected with Home at Heart. We want those connections to be friendly because friendliness is part of being professional. Uh, Kindness, compassion, one of our core values, a good listener. These are all friendly qualities that we need to be a part of our professional boundaries, because being a first-class professional is what we're all searching for in our different roles here as a part of our work and our caregiving. You know that a non-professional connection, it makes it harder on several different people. First of all, it's harder on you because you might be adding expectations from the client, and that client's going to want you to do more than what you're supposed to be doing. And so then you have to say no, or you have to try to cut these boundaries back. We don't want that to happen. So we want to be very proactive to establish these boundaries ahead of time. It's hard on your client because it gives them a false impression that they can continue to ask for favors outside of the care plan. It's hard on the supervisor because they'll need to step in and takes extra work to try to smooth things over if there's expectations that aren't being met, these personal expectations that aren't being met. And finally, it's hard on any future potential caregiver, because they're going to come in and take care of a client that maybe has a misunderstanding of what is expected in these professional boundaries. And so we want to make sure to not make it any harder on any of these people than necessary. And so we want to protect these professional, friendly boundaries. We know that a connection, it's beginning to shift into a non-professional realm when the client is placing expectations on you personally rather than on you as a Home at Heart caregiver. And what that means is they're asking for personal favors that aren't a part of your job. Is when you're a Home at Heart caregiver and they're expecting that you show up on time, that you'll fulfill the care plan according to schedule, and that you're going to be friendly, that's part of the expectation. That's good. But when they're expecting you to take extra time outside of work hours, let them call and have long conversations about personal matters, that's when it's outside of a professional environment. And so then these are the two questions that you'll ask yourself when working with a client. What is on the care plan? What is the client asking me on the care plan or not? And second, what is your work schedule? Is the client asking me to provide more care for them or more time for them than what is allotted on my work schedule? And so that helps determine what is personal versus what is the expectations for a Home at Heart caregiver. Next up here, if your connection gets to the point of frustration, it's already gone too far. If you're feeling anxiety, if the client is going to call you, or if you try to avoid seeing them when you're in public, or if you want to quit your job, that's all signs that this friendly professional boundary has been slipping into a non-professional relationship. That's when you know it's gone too far. We want to prevent this from happening. We want our connections to remain friendly and professional so it doesn't get to this point of frustration. So what can you do as a Home at Heart caregiver? First of all, keep your friendships professional. Stick to the care plan, stick to your work hours, and let your conversations with your client be about your work. And second, if a client asks for extra time or favors, you can politely remind them that Home at Heart Care requires that you stick to your care plan and stick to your regularly scheduled hours. And if they have any questions about that, they can certainly call your Home at Heart supervisor, and a supervisor can help explain that as well. And finally, if the client is continually asking for time and favors outside of the care plan, contact your supervisor, let them know so your supervisor can come and help establish those boundaries. Well, thanks for watching. Hopefully this is helpful. If you want more information, make sure you check out your caregiver handbook, beginning on page 33. It explains some of these other client caregiver boundaries. Thanks again for watching. Thanks for taking such great care of your clients. Hopefully you have a great day, and we will catch you on the next one.